Welcome everyone to the Make It Loop Circular Design Challenge final pitch. We made it. Very excited. We're here today with our finalists who are going to pitch their projects that they've been working extremely hard on for the past few weeks. So we're excited to see them. We're very impressed by all of the projects that were submitted actually for the challenge and are very happy and moved by your commitment to helping us and working together to design a more circular future. So to the few in the audience, welcome as well. Thank you for your support as the finalists are bravely sharing their projects with us. So quickly, how today will work. I will call up one finalist at a time to present, and each one will have up to 7 minutes to share their projects, and then we'll have a Q&A. Marco will be having a timer in the top right-hand corner, so keep an eye out for the timer, judges, and finalists. House rules for the audience, please stay muted for the entire session while others are presenting, of course. And you are free to use the chat, but just so you know, we're not going to be checking it or taking questions today. Only judges and finalists will be speaking. All right. So with that, I'm going to bring up the first presenter. So we have Elisa with Nuvola, which is a soft space that invites you to pause, rest, and slow down. So whenever you're ready, you can come to the stage and share your screen. And then when you start, Marco will start the timer.
So my project is Nuvola, and it's in Italian means cloud, and it's a soft space where to rest, a playground where to play, and it's simply a big pillow. It's a big pillow made out of scraps from mattresses production and from fabric production scraps. So the idea came out when we were organizing a marriage party for a friend, and we were in need of cozy place, like a cozy object, and that it was also cheap and easy to transport because the marriage was in an island in Venice. So we have had a lot of challenges to take in mind, and a friend at some point proposed us to use as a filling the leftovers from to the scraps from the mattress production, because her mom used to have like a mattress factory. So thanks to this, and thanks also to the visit to silk factory, fabric factory, we had the idea to compose this modular pillow that is made of scraps and silk. So we started from I started from this little story because I had already, let's say, the object in my mind, but as also a fashion designer, I always had like the trouble in seeing how much waste was produced every time in every phase of the fashion industry and the production of garments in general. But I decided to focus mainly on the waste production during the phase of the building and the prototyping of the dresses and fabrics. So talking about the fabrics, it's a specific material that is called salvage, and basically it's it's a part of fabric that is used to maintain all the sides of the fabric intact and perfect. At the end of the stage of the production stage, it's cut and thrown away. And instead, for what concerned the garment parts, let's say, I focused more on the scraps that are produced in the cutting phase of garments. So what if we could think of these materials as new base to build other form of textiles? So here you can also see that I tried to develop some different kind of textiles, one with the loom and one with the crochet, with the selvages. And also another question is, what if we could help factories in transforming their waste into new materials without any additional cost? I'm saying this because in Italy, especially, it's I focused on the Italian factory and Italian law. In Italy, we have basically two options to take care of waste. One is just paying an external waste service, local waste service, to take care of the waste, and the other one instead is getting paid from other factories in order to take care of the material, of the waste. So thanks to the ideation part. Sorry, I'm a bit emotional in this moment. I'm a bit so starting from this knowledge and starting from the possibility to work with this kind of materials, which are, again, the mattresses, the selvages, and the knitwear scraps in particular, we decided to develop these big pillows, and that were made of basically three elements: the filling, the pillowcase, and the cover of the pillows. And so starting from the pillowcase, the idea was to simply sew like a big pillowcase that it's in elastic fabric with smart closing that allows us not to use any other materials such as buttons or like Velcro, stuff like this, in order then to only have one material. It is washable, and it's upcycled because we used a special jersey that we were using from another project. Then we have the covers. One was made from the knitting leftovers. The other one is from the selvages, and again is interchangeable, and it could be customized depending on the material and needs. And it's smart closing because, from what concerned the selvage part, it's you can have like a simple knot, and instead with the knitwear cover, it's made with it's detachable, and it's the topping part. It's in knitting. It's knitted, and the under part, it's in waterproof textile, and it's closed with Velcro. So here we still have to work a bit because, especially for what concerned the waterproof textile, because it's the only part that it's not. I finished the time. I go. I continue.
Yeah,
Okay.
time is finished. But if you want to finish up with a last statement,
okay,
give you a couple more seconds.
Okay. And then in the end, the labels are done with the fabric scraps from the elaboration of other materials, but also from the broken parts of the clouds, and it's printed, but also this could be improved. And the label serves us to basically close the loop, because all the times we will have let's say waste from the previous clouds, we use that waste to as a filling of the labels. So this little life cycle shows that we are not extracting raw materials because we are only upcycling. And the manufacturer is cost in terms of energies and production, it's very low because it's handmade, or like it's using very basic ways to sew. We decided to rent the Nuvola, or to propose like a pay-per-use service, especially for events. And if the consumer wants to buy for any reason, we can do like a customized and on-demand Nuvola. We don't use any packaging, only the transportation, and we only tend to use the Nuvola itself. And when the Nuvola is not repairable anymore or washable anymore, the leftovers are used as a filling for the labels.
All right, I have to stop. Okay, great. Thanks so much, Elisa. All right, we'll go straight to the next finalist, and that is Rashi with Better Wipes, a project that's tackling environmental waste coming from wet wipes.
Hello, everyone. This is Rashi from India, and we decided to go ahead with baby wipes. So we took Pampers as the brand that we wanted to study and understand that what's actually happening in the wipes industry. So we understood that we pertained our market to America, and we realized that approximately 22 million Americans are using 31 wipes more than a week, which totaled up to around 1,000 plus per month. And as you can see, by 25, the number of wipes being produced are just going to grow. These were some of the materials that we found out from the packaging and the wipes, which was mostly plastic, rubber resin, and water in solution. This is some of the environmental impact, where you can see plastics, rubber, resin, ink, like deforestation, landfills, VOCs, water pollution, etc. So we use Sustainable Minds, which is a website where you can actually calculate the impact of your product. So we put in every little material that went into this, and we found out that global warming and carcinogens and fossil fuel depletion were the major problems which were coming from this product. So we discovered a lot of opportunities from the problems, where we saw there was a lot of virgin materials being used, a lot of large quantities consumers were buying. There was a lot of use of secondary containers also to place these wipes at home. And more than 75% was water of the package. So we decided to come up with better wipes. And for that, we went through using the Ocala Eco Design Strategy Wheel Lens, where we saw all the 7 points, and we saw wherever our product was sitting fit, and we went ahead with that. So we came up with better wipes, where we used biodegradable wipes. We also used the bioplastic bag, algae ink. We also use for secondary packaging 100% recycled cardboard. We decided to reduce the wipe size because not everything is used. And we also removed water. So we thought we have a few material suggestions, actually. We thought Celina was a very interesting material, where it is 100% biodegradable, and it also emits 70% lesser CO2. It is made from microfibrillated cellulose, which from treated wood pulp. This is the same pulp that we use to make the paper. We also thought that another, which is my favorite, is agave-based bioplastic, which is waste from tequila industry, which could be a great fabric. There's also algae bioplastic. So these were some of the suggestions that we thought could be going for the wipes. Then we decided to use Mehta Bi, which is biodegradable and compostable bioplastic again, which is made from starches, cellulose, and vegetable oils. We thought these bags can help the main outer packaging where the wipes can be placed. Then we decided to use algae ink, which is bio-based, renewable, and a safe carbon black alternative. And when produced at large scale, algae black pigments are carbon negative. We also decided to use 100% recycled cardboard, which was made from 95% post-consumer waste, because we realized that we will need secondary packaging for the transportation to, retail outlets, etc. This is one of the most important aspects, where we decided to remove water. And as you can see on the screen, that we decided to add 2 cups of water. Like we tell the customer what to do once the product reaches them. They can add 2 cups of water, seal and shake the packet, and then wait for 5 minutes and they can use it. So we saw that mostly 97% is water. So by reducing the water, we are helping reducing the weight, which is helping in the transportation to reduce the CO2 emissions again. And more wipes can be transported at the same time using the least amount of fossil fuels. This was one of the things which we got inspired by paper towel partitions. We realized that not all the entire wipe is used every time. So we decided that we will reduce the size by 14%, which reduces the weight by 0.28 grams, which again helps while transportation to reduce the CO2 emissions, as well as we gave a partition in the middle. So if a customer who wants to use only half can do the same. This is the product redesign. We have something which is ocean inspired as well as nature inspired. This is just some expanded views. So as you can see, we put a comparison between Pampers and our product, and we saw on Sustainable Minds, and we could see like an 80% performance improvement from the new design. We also had some secondary ideas because we realized that a lot of parents are buying secondary containers to place the wipes to use at home or when on the go. So we decided that we can again use waste, which is a wipe box, which is made out of coffee waste polymer using waste coffee grounds that would not be used. A secondary material suggestion would be wheat-based bioplastic. So a customer can buy our wipes, put the wipes in the secondary box, and then let it remain moist and keep using it as convenient to them. This was another idea where we decided that since the wipe is compostable, we want to create an initiative amongst a community initiative amongst the people by spreading awareness on proper disposal of wet wipes, and also providing a disposition bag where the wipe can be separated from the diapers. So as you can see, this is the diaper box. You can add a bio bag with a hook, which we will provide. Throw in the wipes, and then you can close the lid. So that way you can segregate the diaper as well as the wipe. So at least the wipes can be composted. So we will provide, along with the box, the coffee polymer box, we will also provide a hook, flat hook, where the bag can be hung. And we will provide only one in the start, and more bio bags can be purchased from the market. This will help. And here I'm showing you the entire product journey where the material is sourced, the roll of the wipe material is made, then the wipes are cut and stacked, then our bags will be printed using algae ink. The wipes will be packaged in the bioplastic bag. Then we will use the recycled cardboard box, and the wipes will be packaged. Then the box can be printed if needed. Then it's transported to the stores. The user will buy it, bring it home. They can add water. Then the wipes can be transferred to our coffee polymer box. The wipes will be used. The wipes will be placed in a composting bag, and then the wipes and the bag will be composted. And yes, I am so on time. This is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashi, for amazing presentation. All right, let's move to Cheryl. So Cheryl will be presenting rTeasel, rescuing wool garments and transforming them into high quality made to order products.
My company is called rTeasel, and it's reimagining how wool is being recycled. And I'll start with the beginning of kind of how I got into this. I like natural fiber. I work in the apparel industry, so I've done a lot of visits to factories, and the waste just kind of blows my mind, and the dead stock and everything. So I just, from my experience growing up sewing and upcycling, I wanted to start making products because I'm still a creative. I want to make products that are out of waste, and I've always seen beauty out of waste. And so I started researching wool because it's natural fiber, and just seeing the demand of wool and high quality wool growing, and places like Mongolia trying to keep up with that. And so they've increased the number of goats they have, which has been impacting the people that are managing them, the land, things aren't growing back. So there's a lot of issues there. And then the end result is less quality of wool and less traceability. And so I started looking into recycling wool. And what I've seen is it's done a lot in different parts of the world, not so much in the USA, of course. We downcycle more, but doing more, looking at wool and doing a take back program, and then bringing it through combing, and then respinning. And then starting like for this, like my business model is to rescue these garments. And I can do that pretty much in the Washington state where I live, because we have a really good waste center and zero waste system. So either doing, the first thing would be just to repair the garments, of having people who can embroider or want to work from home, you know, artisans, to repair the holes or to repair the stains and to fix them and then to resell them. And then the other part is to take and have an on-demand garment fit website, so that people can order garments the way they want, so they can choose a neckline, choose their sleeves, choose the length, choose the fabric, and have it fit to them. And this would be more inclusive for people who don't fit the normal sizing range. And then also you can also work with people who have disabilities and need to have the garment to be able to make into have the ability to be able to get in out of the garments easier. And the eventual thing is to take it back year after year and then turn it into, like, if we have to downcycle it, into like dog sweaters or into insulation. And just looking at the social impact is of my company would be to train like immigrants and different people to repair the sweaters and do embroidery, so you can bring more people into the job market, which is a big issue here in Washington state. And then also hiring people with employment barriers. And I've known a few of those that have, you know, like felonies from stupid things they did, that are having a hard time getting into jobs. And my goal would be to create an e-knit or engineered knitting machine apprenticeship, and be able to get people to retrain and get a valuable skill. And to do this, it would, from working with Nike and working with different companies, it's really hard to find people who understand how to run knitting machines, and we're onshoring a lot more. And so being able to train people to be able to work at factories for higher prices, I think would be an asset. And the other thing is the low barrier to entry, because with recycling, because of the sorting and the manual labor, it'd be a low barrier to entry. And then the other impact would be to be able to make like wool blends or lower quality garments and turn them into blankets or different things for people who are getting rehoused or for animals waiting for adoption. And let's see. And this is the environmental impact. So in general, looking at the impact of switching from virgin to recycle is about a 60% drop in like greenhouse gases, use of resources and minerals. And also the other area that this doesn't cover, which has always been one of my things I'd like to change, is because it has like either a small batch or a pull demand, that there'll be less dead stock, because typically dead stock is, companies usually have 40 to 50% of garments that never sell, and then they have to get rid of it. So this would reduce having capital stuck in dead stock. And this is my process map, just to lay out how to do, how I would map it and recycle it and downcycle it. And also with collection. The one challenge that I have with this, that like wool is being recycled like in in Italy and Turkey and different places. But the one issue that they do is that they fray or they shred the sweaters, which it makes the fiber shorter and it also makes them weaker. So my goal is to figure out the one part of how can you take sweaters apart that's not overly labor intensive and then be able to keep the strength and keep the quality each time you do it. So that's the challenge, to do that within the price point that would sell. And let's see, for sweaters, I would probably sell the same as what you do with sustainability sweaters, anywhere from 100 to like 500, depending on the fiber that they want, the quality, and the design that they want. And that is my quick.
Thanks, Cheryl. Virtual applause again. All right, moving on to Momo. Momo is going to present Floral Circularity, and this project tackles the problem of bio-waste coming from cut flowers and plants.
So hello, everybody. My name is Momo Hoshino, and I'm a first-year master's student at ESCP Business School and in the International Sustainability Management Masters. So today I'd like to present to you my idea called Rose-Colored Glasses, which aims to create a floral circularity as introduced. So flowers decorate our lives, and it's with us in key moments such as graduation, weddings, or birthdays, but it's also with us during the everyday moments in our lives, decorating our homes. And although we may not think about this when we're going about our day-to-day lives, cut flowers actually have a very short time that we can enjoy them, in contrast to the many inputs that are required to produce and get these flowers to our hands. And so the inputs are, for example, energy, fertilizer, water, pesticides, packaging, just to name a few. And just to give you an overview of what kind of impact it has for flowers, the perfect bloom in the vase is extremely difficult to get. So transportation, it's necessary to do it fast and with regulated temperatures. So when you are transporting it abroad, especially intercontinentally, it is very common to take air freight, which is, of course, a highly emitting mode of transport. And in some countries, they're grown in greenhouses, and of course, operating these greenhouses requires light and temperature, which requires, of course, energy. For producing a flower, it is estimated that around 100 to 350 kilograms of water is necessary to produce 1 kilogram. And as I mentioned, it's required to be in a cold chain when it's being transported. But however, after all these inputs, the average vase life of a flower is approximately a week, which is extremely short. And after that, it is just disposed of, usually. And in this growing industry, there is more bio-waste, and there is just a short time that we can enjoy the flowers. So I would like to propose the solution of essential oils and fragrances, as well as composting. And I will first get into the first solution. So the solution I propose is that this project will offer personalized fragrance that captures memorable moments in a scent. So whether it was your birthday, your wedding, or graduation, if you bring the bouquet or arrangement from that day to our store, once that flower has reached the end of their life, we will create a scent that encapsulate this special day with the flowers that you brought to our store. So this is just a bit of a graphic of the solution. And first, so the individuals on the left will bring the bouquet or arrangements to the store and make an order for the personalized fragrance. And aside from that, we will collect flowers from hospitality venues, such as wedding venues, as well as retailers, which would be supermarkets or florists. And I'll move on to the what we do section of the slide. After collecting them, we will sort these flowers into flowers that we can extract essential oils from, and the ones that are non-extractable. And we will extract essential oils from the flowers which we can extract essential oils from. And then we will use that to create personalized fragrances and essential oils. And with the remainder of the flowers, we will create a one-of-a-kind essential oil or fragrance, depending on the flowers available at the time. And we will sell these products. But this is not the end. So with the profit of this business, we will support our efforts to compost the rest of the flowers, which I mentioned were not compostable, not extractable. And this compost will be able to feed the soil of local farms as well as local gardens. And this is a great time to mention that I would like to start this project in Paris, where I'm currently living, as unlike Berlin, Paris does not yet collect bio-waste separately. And therefore, it highlights the potential impact that this project could make. And yes, but however, Paris also operates several compost sites around the city. So we will be partnering with municipalities to take our collected flowers and plants into these composting sites. And that brings us to, so what is the ecosystem? Who are we partnering with? What are the beneficiaries? So in terms of the partners, aside from municipalities, we'll be partnering with the cut flower retailers, as well as wedding venues and other hospitality venues. And the beneficiaries will, of course, be the individual customers who are receiving our products or buying our products, as well as local farms and gardens, which receive compost. And of course, the earth, as there would be less bio-waste ending up in landfills or being incinerated, and also prolonging the use of cut flowers, which does require some amount of resources to produce. So finally, the next steps, I will need to interview retailers, venues, and individuals to research what actually happens at the end of the flower's life at the moment, to ascertain that this will be contributing to reducing bio-waste. And I would need to research the potential toxic pesticides or preservation chemicals that would need to be processed before being able to make into a fragrance, and whether that would be possible. And of course, how non-fresh flowers could still produce essential oils. And at the moment, my team consists of me, myself, and I. So I would probably be looking for new teammates who can speak French and help in my next steps. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening. And these are my sources.
Yay, thanks, Momo. Wonderful. So yes, I love this project. I know that the flower industry is a huge issue, using water, producing waste, etc. So I'm really happy that you're thinking about this particular problem. And I really like the presentation itself. It's very nice branding,
Thank you.
very fresh. It's making me excited about the spring. My question is, maybe you could talk a little bit more about the process of turning flowers into essential oils. How much of the flower waste is actually used? Like, is this, a one-all solution where the whole flower is being used to create a customizable oil? And like, how labor intensive is this manufacturing process? Could you just talk about that a little more?
Yeah, sure. So as you may have seen in my presentation, it is still in the very beginning ideation phase, but just speaking from the research I've done so far, in terms of which flowers, how much of the flowers can we use to extract essential oils? There's only 2,000 out of the 250,000 species that can extract, that can produce essential oils. So there would be a filter. That would be only a number of flowers that we can use from the collected amount. And then after that, there are different species which produce the essential oils in different parts. So for some, it may just be the petals, for some, it might be the leaves, and et cetera, et cetera. So we will only be using a partial part of the flower for the extraction process. Which is why I think the part 2, the composting part, is also essential for this project. And as for how
I was
How-
asking about the manufacturing
about the
process, yeah.
manufacturing.
Labor intensive, or like, what does that look like? If you did any research, if not, it's okay.
Right. I've seen that there's boiling methods and there's different types of ways you can extract essential oils. And I've also seen this, when I was researching whether this is actually feasible or not, I came across this Indian startup company, which was produced using floral waste to create incense, which is not necessarily essential oil or fragrance. But the way they did it was that they were drying up the petals and then crushing it and using it to make incense. So a methodology of that sort would probably be how we would go about it.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I think this is a great project as well. I think it's a smart choice to start with like big venues for weddings and these kind of events. But I mean, how do you plan to source all the flowers? How do you incentivize like these people to give you the flowers?
Right, thank you. That would definitely become the key point of the interviews in the next steps. But I believe that by collecting the waste that they have, we would be reducing their efforts. And in my project plan, for now, I intend to go to the venues to collect it. So it wouldn't require so much efforts from the supplier's side. Additionally, I would also highlight the sustainability impact of this project. To get the support of these potential partners I'm looking to search for. I hope that answers your question.
No, yeah, sure. I think the logistics could be quite hard, especially if you have to compose a lot of those flowers. So yeah, would be nice how you can also, I mean, yeah, you need to see how the business model works, I guess, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Thinking about the transportation, but also how to mitigate the impact of transport from this project. It's quite difficult. But yes, that's definitely a key point that I would like to look into in future research.
Thanks, Momo. Wonderful job. And last but not least, we have Celina, who will be presenting Duara, which is an international cooperative uniting changemakers to create systemic solutions in the textile industry.
So, hi, I'm Celi, and let me introduce you to Duara. So, there is the world produces 92 million tons of textile waste every single year. And often we believe that trash stops existing when we stop looking at it. But where does these 92 million tons of textile waste go? That amount of textile waste produced in the global north usually is exported into the global south market. And this is commonly the best case scenario. The first solution individuals think about without the resources is throw away the clothes. And sometimes with a little bit of research, you think that it's a better decision to donate it into secondhand stores or NGOs. But the clothing that is not sold or used in those instances, with clothes that is not sold in the brand's store, is exported into the global south markets too. 30% of this textile waste go into street markets and supports the economy of the local countries and sellers. But 70% of this are completely unusable and end up in landfills, making it up to a total of 78.2 million tons of textile waste in landfills in the global south. But we're now talking only about the end life cycle of the textile. Let's zoom out a little bit and what happens before that. What about the production? When we're talking about production, we need to go raw material, creation of cotton and refinement and to create polyester, and that usually happens in countries like India. Someone creates the design and manufactures also in a global south factory like in Bangladesh, with often unpaid or not fair paid labor. During the manufacturing process, we already have 25% of the yearly production is pre-consumer textile waste. And then when the manufacturing process is done, we export back the clothes into the global north, where they are distributed into buying points. Right now, when we see to the whole big picture, we know that we are not only exploiting the same markets to produce really cheap clothing, but at the same time, we're sending our trash clothing waste into those same markets. Our people that are trying to make a solution out of this are often thinking about textile waste management and upcycling, creating solutions out of this textile waste, but often forget the direct change and impact that the whole value chain needs. But what if there was an international cooperative that brings people together and collaborates with stakeholders to create circular solutions? So let me introduce you to Duara and welcome you to the textile revolution. In Duara, we understand that this is a systemic problem. And it's a problem that you can just not solve with singular products. You need to understand that there is deeper and bigger relationships in the value chain, historical relationships of power, and for systemic problems, you need systemic solutions. We understand the value chain, and Duara brings people together to boost collaboration and co-creation with strategic initiatives to change the systems, working at the same time with diverse stakeholders to create movement and at the end, change the whole value chain. Right now, our 4 strategic lines of work are biomaterials to have a more ecological starting point, people-centered manufacturing, creating solutions with the biggest productions and manufacturers, betting for fair paid job, more local-based collaboration, planet-centered consumption. We understand that overconsumption of textiles is one of the main problems for the creation of textile waste. And finally, we need circular solutions for textile waste already existing. But overall, we also understand that since this is a global value chain, is generated in different parts of the world, we need contextual and local innovation. And solutions that come from a place of understanding and living those realities are the more powerful. Right now, we have activated Duara Climaton that's working with SPA brands like Zalando to create sustainable solutions with multidisciplinary teams, connecting new talents with established companies. We have a design competition called From Waste to Fashion, and we work on a local level, the relationship that people, designers, sustainable brands, and alternative materials have, rethinking the life cycle of fabrics, but overall just changing those relationships. We have done 2 already, 2023 Bilbao, Spain, and 2024 Pune, India. But we want to dream bigger. And we understand that the amount of textile waste generated every single year needs a bigger and scalable product to make it impactful. And that's why we're developing a raw material to be used in industry with products like insulation and construction. Our business models come from the different relationships we have with the stakeholders in the value chain, brands, SPA or sustainable, governments, industrial companies, and overall the people, local communities, non-profits, and educative institutions. Our impact comes from boosting the change from individuals to stakeholders to systems. And right now our go-to-market strategy is introduction, social media, digital marketing, especially with resource sharing and activism, small collaborations like the climatons we have been doing with SPA brands, and the creation of events like the competitions. In the next stage of growth, we want to start prototyping industrial material and collaborate with biomaterial researchers to have actual knowledge and give them also the opportunity. And at the end, for us, it's really important to make this a collaborative change. So we want to share the stories of different stakeholders wanting to do a change. Right now, we're a global team. We have been working in Spain, Germany, Finland, Korea, and India. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Celina. That concludes our final pitch. You all did amazingly. We're extremely proud. And yeah, another silent clap to all of you. Thank you so much for all the work that you have been putting in for these past few weeks. So yeah, we obviously encourage you to continue developing these projects regardless of the outcome. And we will be here for you even after the challenge. If you want to talk about next steps or feedback, we're obviously here to support you and we are invested in your success. What will happen next is that we will deliberate and we will then let you know the winners via email on Friday, the 26th. So we will let you all know. Based on what you answered in the beginning, if you're okay with sharing the project, we would also love to highlight the winners and the finalists on social media. But we will contact you in another email with all of this information. So thank you once again. You did amazing.